Okay, welcome back to the channel. Oh, not a garage because we're working out in the weather. And we need to get this into this today. It's probably, hopefully, maybe, who knows, won't be a long video. And then I'll add the camshaft in the following video so, you know, I can have more content. But for today, we're just gonna get the 5.3 into the Trans Am. Knock on something. First I need to heat up the crank bolt, break it loose so I can do the cam, but I'm not gonna do that until it's in the car so I can make a second video, because I gotta return the blowtorch I borrowed from a neighbor. Borrowed a 7/8 deep socket. It's an impact socket, but whatever, it'll work. Pull out my two knock sensors. I'm gonna look in the valley cover, then I'm gonna put it back on while we install the motor. Okay, try and get these knock sensors out. It looks like this is the one that always has trouble, and they had the recall to put sealant down in there. You could bypass it to where they're both triggered to run on this back knock sensor and just leave that one dead or cover it up. Put one of those caps on there. Oops, just trying to set it up there. Oh, whatever. Get out of there. Let's see if I turn the light on. When we flip the motor over, do the oil pan, I am going to spray some brake clean with a little bit I have in the lifter valleys. I think I actually am going to go over the pistons a tiny bit on the tops with the Dremel. Just a little bit of sandpaper, get a little bit more of that carbon off there. I don't know if it's a little bit of persuasion here. Oh yeah, nice and burnt. Look at that, all that rust. That's the recall right there. Gasket's still in one piece. I still need to knock the rivets out on the deck for the oil pan, where they have, I think, 2 or 3 from the factory. That's gonna be about as good as we get it right now. Where the lifter trays go. Get that cleaned out. Look at all that. Whatever. When it's a budget, you work with you got. A little bit of brake clean on there. I gotta tilt the motor. Only thing I got that'll fit on there. Take this oil pressure sensor out. That way I don't gotta fight with it against the firewall once it's sitting in the car. I'm still gonna set it in there, plug the hole. Look at all that. Look how thick that is. Oil pressure sensor just sitting in there for me. Plug that hole. I gotta set the cam sensor back in to plug this hole. But we're gonna set the valley cover back on when we move the engine into the car. I just wanted to get some of this out. This is all from brake cleaner. Right, I'm gonna go over this a little bit. I don't have no 250 grit. I thought I did. 600's a little bit. I'm gonna go over all of them real quick and spray some WD-40 in there. Got a little bit more off. Actually, I got a lot more off. I gotta get this crank bolt out of here. I borrowed this torch from my neighbor like 2 weeks ago. These LS crank bolts are ridiculous. And I don't have an impact gun. I don't have power tools because this isn't a garage. Time to bring a cane to it. Through hellfire and brimstone. I guess no one's a WWF fan. Don't need that much. I guess it could probably help if I have my socket with me. Alright, I'll be back. No impact gun. Oh, it's hot. No impact gun. Just heat and a little bit of turning. Hopefully it didn't break off inside the crank. No impact gun at all. Because we don't have power tools here. We're not monetized. We don't make any money. We don't have any sponsors. It's hot. I'm not trying to touch it. I probably shouldn't put it out here on the dirty leaves either. Okay, I can return this now to my neighbor. Thanks, Aaron. Next on the list, redraw a plier to pull the crank off. Do I need to do that now? Wait till it's in the car so I can lean over and hurt myself? maybe we'll just do it now. That'll give me a little bit more room so this doesn't bang up on the core support there. It's already been done with all the engines. It's been in there, but yeah, let's take this off. I got the Harbor Freight Special Dr. Octopus here. Oh, you know what? Like I said, I didn't have no impact gun, just heat. I didn't even have it on 3 minutes. And my breaker bar, and I had the screwdriver wedged here in the flex plate against that bolt on the engine stand. This thing is a piece of shit. I should have got the one from AutoZone like I used to have. This thing is terrible. I'd have to take off some material just to get it around the crank, and then it keeps slipping. I mean, I must have spent an hour fighting with that thing. I'll take the crank pulley off in the next video with the cam. Just want to set the cam sensor down in there. Just try and plug these holes. There it is. When we put in that SLP oil pump I have, if it doesn't, I can always take a diamond bit and go in here, and you can smooth down all this material so the oil flow is straight through. That's a tech tip I learned back in 2010 or something like that. So all this material right here you see, you can just smooth all that down to get a little high flow. And the spring that sits on the inside the oil pump, you can put a couple little washers to make it high pressure as well. You could do other little things like take the gear out and put little dimples in it or something, but I wouldn't do that. But this right here, this material I would take down, depending on what the SLP looks like on the inside. We'll see, but right now we just need to get the pickup tube. I was just sitting here thinking, putting the oil pan on and buttoning it up. I'm gonna have to take the oil pan back off to take the bolts back out of the pickup tube to change the oil pump. So I need to get that off now, because this pan is not going to be easy to get off once it's in the car, and I don't feel like lifting it up and doing it. Maybe I will, maybe I'll just make twice the job. But if I don't change this now, I'm gonna have to take the oil pan back off, change the oil pump. I need to decide what I'm doing here. I don't have the sandpaper I wanted to do the decks. This is extremely smooth. I just went over it with the 600 and WD-40 real quick. I got the front cover just loose, setting in with 2 bolts. The back cover I got, it's still tight. I haven't broke it loose. You're supposed to have both covers loose when you put the oil pan down, but I'm gonna come back. The oil pan's gonna have to come back off to change the oil pump, because we're gonna have a pickup tube bolted to it. So I'm gonna put this down in the car so it's out of the way. I can get the hood on there, and then when we come back and pull the crank pulley off, because that is too big. I can't fit it on these little tabs. It's too big to go over on the outside. So I tried wedging it to come in this way. It's not working. I need a smaller one. I should have bought the one at AutoZone I wanted. So anyways, we're gonna put the oil pan on. We'll hand tighten them, get it down in the car, and then I'll come back and I'll pull it back out to take the oil pan back off so I can do the oil pump. Why? Because let's make it easy on me. That's why. Let me scrape this off though. I think I am going to change this rear cover. Take the flex plate off while it's out. Oh man, is it running out? flex plate and an adapter that sits in the crank to use a 700 R4 on an LS engine, but I don't think I'm going to go that route because then you got to get the geometry correct for the TV cable, and I'd rather have no piece of cable and use the 4L60 that everyone complains about. 700 R4s are too much like a slush box. There it is. Beautiful. We'll get this rear cover off. Flex plate bolts are 15 millimeter. I don't know why I didn't say that. Rear cover, front cover, it's all 10 millimeter. It's GM. Last 4 bolts. Now that I already cleaned the surface. Gaskets in one piece, stayed on it. I'll keep the cover. You know what, I'll just keep the gasket on there. Now I'm gonna have to clean this surface. And anyways, I'm not gonna record all this. I was scraping some of the gasket material off using a razor blade. I gotta clean this up some. I'll come back through and use some brake clean and some sandpaper a little bit. See what I can get off. And then I will, you know, clean it up a little bit more. Okay, I didn't take you long for that cleaning process, but here's what I ended up with. did was wedge this in here because this is all I have, and I popped it with my hand. I believe I have these O-rings. I should have checked before I pulled it out. It's got to be in one of the kits I bought. Going through all the gaskets I have. I've got the rear main seal in my pocket. Body. I found the O-ring for pickup tube. They gave me 3 of them. I don't know why I need this. Let me see what we got. Try and press this in our rear cover here. Change of plans. That's for the crank. That's the front cover. So I had 2 sets. There's the knock sensor, but they didn't give me the rear main seal. Okay, we're not using that cover. Now I've got to waste more time and clean this one up. I cleaned up the back of the rear cover and my little oil galley plug. Both kits didn't come with the O-ring for this. Can you believe it? I guess it'll be alright. It just ensures the oil's clean for the oil pump. I'll tap that in. Oh, I put the new O-ring in for the pickup tube. Something plastic. I gave it a couple more taps till I heard the different sound. Okay, let's put the rear cover back on. A little bit of oil. This is just some 30 weight right here. It's my gasket. This is what I'm working with. Try to put it on right. Lines up. Just double checking everything. Making sure everything looks alright. Before I try and get this sealed over the crank, I just want to make sure the gasket is setting in place so it's not damaged. Set the windage tray on. This is why you need the LS1 windage tray if you're going to use one. You can't have it here for the pan because the pickup tube is dented. I mean, I guess you could bend the pickup tube and use the truck windage tray, which goes all the way to the front journal, but who really cares? We're reusing everything because this is an actual budget build. I labeled all my bags with everything I needed, and then I couldn't find my little bolt for the pickup tube, and then I realized it was in with the, what other bag I had, oil pan bolts or something. Oh yeah, 2 extra, that's right, because we didn't use the truck pan. Even though we're going to come back and take this off, I am going to at least tighten up. Windage tray is tightened down. The oil pump pickup tube is tightened down. This is still loose. I need to come in here and put the baffle. Brake cleaned everything one more time. Oops, upside down. There we go. I got a stray cat walk up on me. Who are you? Who are you? Come over here and get to work and I'll give you some food. Alright, I'll get you some food in a minute. Baffle's all buttoned up. Oil pan gasket out. See these factory rivets here and here. I thought there was a third one. I guess not. It doesn't matter. The new one doesn't have them. I'm not too worried about it. I'm test fitting the oil pan gasket, and if we line up all the holes, there is a bit of an issue. I know the back cover's not on, so I know I'm not worried about that, but if you line up right here, you can't get to the block right there because we're hitting the windage tray. And then we're not going to be able to line up with anything on the other side. And I guess I could if I moved it a little bit. Yeah, this is not lining up very good at all. I'm going to take a razor blade and cut the gasket on the inside off. I didn't take much material off, just the gasket on the inside. I don't understand why it would be there anyways. I mean, there's plenty of gasket here and all the way around to the outside. Yeah, see, now everything's lining up. Well, if I move it, now I shouldn't have that much of an issue, but you know, it is what you pay for. Nice and dirty, just the way we like it. Now these back two bolts are the reason we keep everything loose. She's in there. This is why we kept everything loose, so that the whole gasket and the pan lines up. Other than that tiny modification on the oil pan gasket, it actually has lined up perfectly fine. I mean, it's not really that big of an inconvenience. It'd be nice just to put it on, but you know, quality in parts has gone down, and we didn't buy anything from AutoZone for $80. This is also very hard to do with one hand. It's 18 foot-pounds. I thought it was like a 89 inch-pounds or something, but I guess it's 100 and something. I need 18. To get to that 15. I'm just past the 10. At 15. 16. 16, 7, almost 17. We got set on 18, and then we will start working our way from the inside out. Kids talking to me. Okay, that was quick. We're gonna do these back bolts. I think I should. Yeah, I'm gonna do these. Maybe I won't. Alright, that's 18. Did I do this one? Yeah, I did. Did this one. I did this one. Did this one. Maybe this one. Okay. Should have did these before I did that back one, but whatever. These ones are gonna have to come back off because we got to do front cover. I tried to stop it for the train and I hand tightened some of these. I got carried away. The only place on the Gen 3 LS engine to put RTV is on the two corners of the front cover, timing cover, and two on the rear cover. These are no problem because we still got to take this off, take the cam out, and I can put dabs of RTV, the rotative black stuff there, but the back, I gotta take the wheel pan back off to do it. Not today. Just like the oil pan, the rear cover are 18 foot-pounds, just like the front timing cover as well. I did both sides, the left and right on the pistons a little bit more. I put some brake cleaner inside the lifter valleys. I'm gonna wipe these out some more with the socks real quick. And then we're gonna flip it over. And I might have time to put it in today. I had to stop and do some stuff, but we'll see. I put this little pressure relief vent for the oil pan on. It's a new day. I ran out of daylight yesterday. Somehow I lost the motor mount bolts for the 5.3 when I baggy and label everything. And the one thing I needed I lost, so I couldn't mount the block motor mounts onto the 5.3 to put it in the car. So I had to take it off the cherry picker, put it back on the engine stand, and then I went to Lowe's. I checked the thread pitch and everything on the stock LS motor mounts for Gen 3, and this is the part number I bought from Lowe's. They come in pairs of 2. Obviously I got 4 bags. I don't know if you can see that. They say you can go up to 30 millimeter, but they didn't have it, so I just did 25. And the class 10.9, unfortunately they don't have a normal bolt for an automotive, so this is what I got. But class 10.9, I believe that's the rating. I was going to go to AutoZone and get the ones on the rack, but they had these, and I had the guy scan it, and they're rated for 10.5, so they're grade 10.5. And
I read online that as long as it's grade 8 or higher, it's fine. Then I found someone saying grade 5 or higher, and someone said grade 10 or higher. Whatever. I covered all the bases. I got 4 sets of them. I showed you the bag with the part numbers. Here's what I paid after tax. $10.04. One thing I needed to do was remove my only broken head stud. And it looks like I've already got some sort of mud daubers or something going in the threads, but whatever. Maybe we can hit them with this. I forgot to take this out when I had my neighbor's blowtorch. All I did was clamp it on there and it started wiggling. I don't know if it's a good thing or not. I had to take this plug out, which actually, by the way, looks brand new. I went through these plugs and I tore this motor down. Oh, thank God. Look at that. Oh, nope. Don't look at that. We'll take that somewhere to get that taken care of. Let them try and dig it out of there before I try and rebuild these heads, and if they can't, $16mm. I went ahead and put a couple in to test them out. The thing is I didn't want to order the ARP bolts, which I should have. As cheap as they are and affordable as they are, they were only like $14 with free shipping. And I thought, oh, I really don't want to wait on them to get here. And then I went to Lowe's the night to get these, and then it rained for 3 days. And then I had Halloween to do dad stuff, and then it rained another 2 days. And here we are on my 1 day off this week. So time is of the essence when you work for a living and have no money. Okay, user error. My factory clamshell mounts I took off of the Trans Am don't fit the block. It's been so, I mean, maybe if I did it that way and the bolts didn't go that way, they went vertically, but no. So most commonly GM motor mounts up to 1995 do not work, or 2000 on first gens, small blocks. And user error. It's been a while since I did this, and I had to remember that the LS1 I put in the 86F bodies, I kept the factory LS1 motor mounts on the block, and the ones I took off of this 5.3 I think I threw away like a dummy. I think I'm gonna check, and I'm gonna check to see if I still have the mounts off of my LS1. So I'm gonna go searching and see what I have. These are the clamshells off the LS1 I have. I did still have them in the bottom of a filing cabinet in my mom's shed. They're rock hard. They're no good. But they'll have to do. This one's okay. I thought it was broke, but God, it's like a bullet. Spent all that time wasting painting the other ones. And I don't know what I was thinking. So the only sandpaper I got is 120. I'm just gonna scuff them up, and I've got a little bit in there, a little bit in there. I'll bring you back. So I cleaned this off, or well, by cleaning it off I mean shaking it when I got it out the drawer. It doesn't help us in the bottom drawer in that shed is creeps in moisture. Whatever. I got a little bit sanded off. You can see somewhat of the difference. I'm just gonna clean it once over. Whatever, that's good enough, who cares? And then we'll wax remove it, spray it, do the other one, cut a little bit of grass, put them on the motor, and then try and drop it in finally. Alright, a little bit of bang, or if I call it brake cleaner. Got some grease remover. We'll work on this one. Here's the other one. I sanded down, not as good. Didn't use a new piece of sandpaper because I'm cheap. I don't have that much. Here's after the wipe down. Didn't really do the bottom too well, but whatever. Okay, this is after the wax and grease remover. The other one, I sprayed with a little bit of primer I had left on it. Then I'll go over it with this so it can flake off and look like crap and then I don't have to redo it. I'm gonna see if I can get anything out of this on this one. Probably not. This thing is empty. No, I got some. And a stray cat has randomly appeared. Wonder if I can get some on the bottom. Whatever. It's thick, but it's on there. And now we don't know how to set it down because I painted both sides. Yay! Stray cat over here. Yeah, I just dropped my phone and busted it all up. Here we go. We're gonna let them dry. Actually had enough. And then we'll come back with paint on. Boy, this has been a debacle. Keeping it loose. 7 out of the 8 original bolts from the LS1 for the clamshell mounts of the block, but I don't think I'm going to use them. I think I'm going to stick with these zinc plated ones I got from Lowe's. Maybe I'll regret it, I don't know. More of this issues I've had. I have to make sure I have my, you know, the things that go in and out, the bolts for the mounts. I got to make sure I have them and didn't lose them. I got my motor mounts. I have to zoom in a little bit, otherwise for some reason I can't turn on my flash. So here we are, motor mount, yep, bolt, still got them loose. Threads barely reach out the other side of the mount. I lost the mount bolts, bought new ones, wrong clamshell mounts, found my old ones, got these painted, got these mounted. Now I don't have motor mount bolts, so I don't think this video is going to have the engine drop in. Because they don't even reach. Great. I found 2 more. Really don't remember having this much trouble. Sticks out a little bit more. Let's go see how much it mounts up with the adapter plate on the engine cradle. Negative. I'm sitting here going through, these are extra parts, CPI engine and stuff, but going through the LS1 stuff I have in here. And I have another box of stuff, but I know I don't have the motor mounts because I didn't take it out of that 99 Z28. So, and I don't remember what everything went to. Oh, this is great. I am going to have to wait and order motor mounts, bolts, whatever. There's some LT1 stuff. There's the intake. There's the old heads. Alright. That sucks. I'm going to have to leave this video without getting anything accomplished. Terrific. I guess I'm going to have to cover the engine up again and push it back again in what has grave has become its home. Damn. Alright. hopefully this is the last time I have a failed. All right, I guess that'll do it. If you enjoy this type of content, consider subscribing, leave a like, leave a dislike, or subscribe. I'm gonna get off here and make this video before my phone doesn't work, since I dropped it and busted the screen all up just a minute ago. And I'm gonna get on eBay, order these correct bolts the right length, and that's it. Maybe I'll go to Lowe's and get some. I don't know. I'll be back with a video in a couple days. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching my junk.